Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about OverClocked ReMix and the Final Fantasy III album that everyone's been waiting for who knows how many years. It's finally going to be, hopefully, coming out on the schedule in the near future. And this is what my director comments look like for the album. The Final Fantasy III album that is supposed to be coming to OverClocked ReMix. I kept it fairly short. I realize so much time has passed that the people that are probably there, like not even sure, but like they're probably completely different people, I would assume, than the ones that were there for the brief time that I was part of the community. So, yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting anyone that I knew to be reading this, so I didn't want to be, all these details, blah, blah. But maybe that's what this video here is for. It's for maybe the people that knew me who were like, well, why did he only say these two little things here? Why didn't he go on and say a little bit more detail? For those of us who waited however many decades, we want to hear about this. Well, I'll try to keep it brief because I do not want to spend my whole night, whole day, however many days, like I'm tired. And I do want to make other videos. So let's try this. Let's see if we can do this for once. Let's try to keep it brief and on topic and focused, and let's get moving. Final Fantasy VIII. I love that game. This is their website, OC ReMix. I was on this website from like 2010 to 2016. I ended up getting like 100 songs posted on there, which was a lot of fun, I guess. It was cool. It was one of the most, not because of the website, but just because it was a short but pretty turbulent period for me. It was rough. But as we see, time always goes on, life goes on, things keep going. Anyway, yeah, here you go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Congratulations on all your success, by the way. What grinded my gears about what happened back then was I had found out that they were running ads on the uploads of the songs that we sent to them, whatever. And yeah, we were on their content policy. We agreed to whatever blah blah that they said we agreed to when we submitted the stuff. But they were not legally licensing or, legally running the ads, for these. Like I have ads on my songs now because they're legally licensed through whatever. I own the license when I distribute the songs. So it runs ads on them. But they were running the ads on them back then and, keeping the revenue and calling it upkeep for the website or whatever. So... But yeah, they didn't tell the artists in advance that they were going to be running these ads on our songs and, starting to collect this revenue from the music. So I was upset at that time, which understandably, And they had other stuff at the same time that rubbed me the wrong way about how the site was run. That's a really vague way of putting it. But let's just leave it at that, I guess. I made an accusation against them, whatever, I guess, about mismanagement of funds, which there's never been proof either way, and you could never find proof either way. So in like hindsight and retrospect, it's kind of just a mean thing to accuse someone of without having evidence. But they were making those shady backroom deals. Like, oh, if you blah, blah this for me, I'll blah, blah that for you. So, what can I say? Like, was I wrong? No. Do I regret it? My songs were taken off the website by my request. Actually, that was in part because of this email chain over here. Where, some time had passed, I had reached out. Not too much time, I don't want to go into too much detail. It was still 2016. It's the day before my birthday. That's cool. I wanted to make a contract to sign between the two of us where I admit to making libelous accusations of financial mismanagement without compelling verified evidence. He said in that same contract he was agreeing not to hold me liable for blah, blah, blah. Which I don't think... I mean, why would I agree to that legally or anything? Yeah, no thank you. They also wanted me to formally state my understanding of my submission agreement with OCR, which I still don't understand. Like, you can't run ads on that. You didn't buy the license for that. I own the license now, though. So if you still had a YouTube upload of it, my YouTube content ID would run ads on the video for it. So yeah, I understand how that works now. Assuming we work out the contract thinger, we never did the contract. They were going to say I'd only be using the forums to complete Final Fantasy III. I would have to avoid the politics forums and making posts that do not relate to video game music for the remainder of the year. This was in September of 2016. Trump hadn't won quite just yet, but he was about to win. I don't think he knew this at the time. But they were pretty upset about all that Trump business back in the 2016 when all this took place. Yeah, so that's what happened there. But anyway, assuming that everything went well with that, which it didn't, because that never happened, in 2017, I was going to be able to resume my normal participation on the forums, which were pretty quiet those days, for him to be honest, following the same rules everyone else does, which I thought, like, isn't that what you do anyway? I don't know. And I would have to make a public statement. Well, does everyone else have to make these public statements? That's pretty crazy. On my social media accounts, of all places, admitting wrongdoing and that my accusations were unfounded. Either I felt bad about this or I didn't. Well, about what? I knew what I knew. I saw what I saw. I felt what I felt. I had been disrespected the way that I had. The ads were put on the songs. I didn't have the financial capability back then to be able to license them myself and release them like I do now. But now look at this. I got all this stuff on the Apple and on Spotify, but I'm showing off Apple this time because, hey, all my Apple fans. Thank you, everybody. Check this out. And the new songs, Astro Bot, the Valentine's Day one, you got Build Me Up Buttercup, which is an Apple exclusive for all you awesome Apple people out there. And this is cool. And you got pretty much, not everything. I'm working on it. I still got a few more. I'm going to be touching stuff up. Because I've been releasing stuff here and touching it up. I've been touching up a lot of stuff. But I think I'm pretty much done. Just a few more things to go. I'm kind of excited for it. So I hope you will check that out. So anyway, yeah. The OC Remix thing, like, signing this contract and being unbanned, with the understanding that I wouldn't be able to talk about politics for the rest of the year. I can't agree to that. I can't, trust myself to not talk about anything when told not to. Can you not talk about a pink elephant? Can you not think of it when I just told you not to think of it? You know what I mean? That's how that works, isn't it? So how was that going to work out? It wasn't going to work out. There was no chance this was ever going to work. And that was how long ago? 2016? I was way younger back then. So way less wise, way less experienced than I am now. So I don't know. Anyway, that didn't work out, unfortunately. So yeah, I was bummed. And you have no idea how difficult it was for me to decide, say, you know what, I got to take my songs off this website. But everything, in the long run, it all works out. Everything happens for a reason. Now all my songs are licensed. They're all on Spotify. They're on Apple and whatever. Wherever you listen to your stuff, you can find it now. And I'm going to be adding more stuff. And I'm making new original stuff. And I'm going to be working on new video game covers and covers of all type of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you're all looking forward to that. So, this was our little trip down memory lane here for the Final Fantasy III album. It ended up running a little bit longer than I was expecting. And I'm talking a lot. And I have so much more to say. So what do? Do I make another video? How does this work? Beautiful, by the way. Edward Dennis, the artist who made this artwork. He's a published author now, and he's going around and being a famous author, doing all type of cool stuff. Look him up. So I did appreciate being able to sort of make peace with DJ Pretzel. That's his name. That's the guy that owns the site. He called himself DJ Pretzel. Isn't that funny? Anyway, yeah, it was cool to be able to... I basically asked him, I said, am I able to can we continue this album and like put it all of it together and release it all as one big thing? And I asked him, will you help me please to mix and master some of this music, because it's a lot. And well, in the long run, he didn't end up doing any of that. He didn't mix or master anything, which it would have been cool to have him do one or two, or one would have been cool. One would have been nice, but it's a lot of stuff. What, like, and we also agreed that we didn't want it to overshadow the rest of the album, because all the stuff, the Mythius stuff, was like as long as everything else, maybe even longer. I think it's like 3 hours long. So it was his idea that we'd release a second album afterwards of just the Mythius songs, so that, you know, it would be this Final Fantasy III Liberation album. Then the next one would be a Resurrection, is what we were going to call it. It would be all the Mythius songs, the other 2.5, however much hours. Or I don't know if it would have all of them, or how it was going to work. You know, we will or would or will hopefully figure that out later. I don't know who's going to be talking about that, but it shouldn't take too long to get all that done, I would hope. If we can coordinate in some way, that would be nice. Anyway, let's continue on. He goes off and tells me, well, I'm not going to repeat like any personal stuff, but he eventually ends up retiring from the website. So now he is no longer in charge of the OC Remix after all this history of blah blah nothing. Like, it's all just static, like white noise that no one remembers or knows about or cares about. It's just a history. It's past. It's all gone. Everyone like has moved on, or should move on, needs to move on, etc. So now it's all different people, I assume, on this website, except like the people running it. There has always been like this little small group, and this is why the website has never really grown to, you know, be like some huge communities, because there's always been this wee little tiny group of people that were, you know, like the core people of the entire community, I guess, because they are like, you know, the staff family people. And I guess the whole time I was there, you know, I was a lot younger, I wanted to be part of that. I could never become part of that. And I always had people that were like super jealous of how quickly I just showed up and went from making crud to making stuff that was incredible, like really quickly. I'm not even sure myself how that happened. I guess I listened to a lot of advice and got good quick. I don't know. Like I said, like I was only there 5-6 years and had 100 songs posted on the website, which was some big feat. But it was brief. All the songs are off there now, and it's ancient history. It was nothing. Or it was something, but now it is nothing. I should put it that way. So how do I feel about it now? I'm still not happy about how they ran the ads on those songs. You know, that wasn't right. Would I do it again? Yes. Because you don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to Brandon Strader like that. You don't send me an email like that. All of you remember this. Any of you. You don't talk to me the way that guy thought he could talk to me. And don't disrespect my music or my art. Don't run ads on my stuff without asking. It takes 2 seconds. So many people on YouTube are like, oh, can I please use your song on my mod? I'm like, go ahead. Go ahead. I'd love you to. Please do it. It takes nothing to ask. All right. Thank you, everybody. I am not currently going to be a part of any communities. That's not really my thing anymore. It was fun when I was young, I guess. I'm getting old now. I'm going to focus on my own thing and do my own stuff. And I have my own community that I've started. Well, I'm trying to start it. And it's going to be different, because everyone is going to be invited, going to be welcome to join this community. It's for like audio production and creation and, you know, different types of art. Just for people that create stuff, go ahead and join. It's a Discord. Join up, post your art or your works in progress and whatever it is. Maybe you'll get some comments from me on it, right? And I was going to try to put together a Patreon and all that type of stuff. That's going to take a lot of work, but I was going to start on that. I want to build my own community where I know that people will be able to grow and, you know, strive and do their best, and not have people, I don't know, I'm just going to leave it at that. Not have the type of undesirable people that made my experience when I was young very undesirable. I would like to have a community where people could go and actually improve and, like, you know, be honest. Tell people the truth about it. You know, allow them to improve what they're doing and get better. I always thought that would be useful for me, you know, honesty, so that I could actually improve. And I did have people, like, I still have maybe 2 or 3 people I still talk to from communities that I am not a part of anymore. People that are really good friends that gave me good, honest advice. I grew really quickly with my skills, my abilities with audio. And I think I'm doing pretty dang good right now. And I got to get back to work. And I have other videos and other stuff I need to work on. So I'm just going to leave it at no other communities except for my own. And not planning on joining any. Although I am open to collaboration with other artists, it will be not as part of a community. It would be something, you know, reach out to me, whatever that is. Thank you, everybody.